Hey everyone, it's Nick from Trophy Line, and today I'm here with Shawn, and we're just going to give you a little bit more insight on our Onyx platform, kind of how it came from an idea to reality. So I'll let Shawn take it from here.
Yeah, I mean, if you start, we started this process back 2 years ago after we launched the Wingman, and really started morphing into, you take our mission platform, our EDP, and our Wingman, and how do you mash that together, right?
Yeah.
But then, how do you take it to the next level? You take all those features, and how do you build on it, right?
Yeah, and I feel like we set a really high standard for rigidity in the platform, so that was kind of difficult with this one too. Is how do we make sure that no matter where somebody is on this platform with the angles, it's still as solid as it can be.
Well, speaking of that though, right? So our Wingman had the front over, and then again, this is how do you take it to the next level, right? So where most hunters spend a lot of time on the sides.
Yep.
So
I do personally.
Yep, same here. I spend the majority of my time there. So what consumers liked in our Wingman and ourselves. So how do we take that again to the next level? So rounding around to the edges and doing three sides angles, right? It eliminates that ankle fatigue.
Yeah,
right?
agreed. We even took care, I think, is even on the corners of where those edges move, rounding those off and having a separate angle there, because it's so difficult when you have that hard line. Sometimes it can be hard to get a nice comfortable shot, especially with that angle.
Yep.
So I think taking those and adding that feature was really important on this one. And one thing I remember us talking about when we first did this was a lot of people love our platforms. They love the mission. They love the EDP. They don't love the hump on the bottom. So and that's one thing that we kind of shaved off and made really clean. So when this platform does sit on your back or on the ground or on your backpack, whatever, it's flush.
Yep.
So this hub on the bottom for our level bolt here is flush with the edges of this angle. So everything sits nice and neat. You don't have that protruding bump, but you're still keeping the rigidity and the strength that we had, just like the mission and EDP.
Yeah, exactly. Then once we took care of the platform side of it, we kind of had that doubt in, was like, okay, what can we do different from the post structure, right? So we went from aluminum construction, tubular, to casted post, and then we did something a little different to the top, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've always had the stomp pad on all of our cam over platforms, and I think that's pretty important for helping you set it.
Yep.
And just generally getting better shot angles, especially when there's something right below you, which that's what I love. I love getting really tight into the deer and maybe almost sometimes having to make those steep shots. So we ended up taking that top step, that stomp pad, and integrating it with tree cleat, which I think personally with that that claw type design we're calling it, is just really strong, and it just looks cool in my opinion. So I'm really happy with that. We wanted to keep that because that was a really crucial thing. I think we had a lot of customers reach out, both myself and you, and everyone at our customer service, that they love that step, and it just was an extra way for them to set this easily. So I mean, that's one of my favorite features of this too, is just being able to get really nice and steep on the shot.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was where we had this dialed in pretty good, pretty fast. It was really this piece, right? That we put it to the test, literally, where we started with, again, the tubular aluminum design went to the cast, and we had the offset bracket, built in, but more down here, right, on the original sample that we made, which then we went and tested. We actually went on a bear hunt in Manitoba, and we just found that, it worked good, wasn't great. So we went back to the drawing board. We actually re-engineered and created a new mold and 3D print and CAD and everything else that goes into it, and just redesigned it. And we just realized that, by taking that offset and just moving it up to the back, creating that cleat, just it's really strong into it, and then it's kind of streamlined it, right? I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it lays really nice. Once this whole thing's folded up, it's nice and compact. It can pack in easily on a backpack, a little bit more than some of our other platforms can, which is another thing that the customers are reaching out to us about. But overall, I think just like you're right, that whole top step there just streamlines everything. It actually gives me a little bit bigger of a purchase up here. Like I've got size 12 feet, winter boots. it just takes up a lot of space. So having those cleats built in really just helps me get more purchase up here. And the one thing I always wanted to change on our top steps, and I'm glad we did it here, was the angles on it. So they were more square, rectangular, I should say, and it just kind of had that flat face. But putting these here, not only do you get a steep angle, but you have a proper line if you're moving around the platform using this. So just really happy with how this product turned out. And so we've got a wealth of platforms. You've got the Wingman that's small and compact. You've got the EDP, which people love. It's really kind of our middle ground. This is going to fall in right above that EDP. So for guys that want just a little bit more space, because we get that a lot too. I think you and I both get a lot of messages from guys saying, should I go with Mission or should I go with EDP? And this is just in between that. So a lot of those fellas that are on that line and can't decide, man, you can't go wrong with this one here.
Yeah, from a size perspective, absolutely.
Yeah.
Between those two. But overall, super happy how this team turned out. So just kind of the recap, right? We have the top piece, the stomp pad that was recreated with the cleats inside it, casted post, and then nice flat surface, just like our other platforms are. But now you have 3 side angles on it with grip on all sides. So,
and it's made in America.
Always made in America. That said, we talk about how long it took to design this and bring it to market. It wasn't just ideas that you and I came up with, or the trophy line team, or ambassadors. It was great feedback from our consumers. Whether it was how to improve an existing product, or just great ideas that they always send us. And that's what I love. We take that serious. Some things take longer than normal, like a product like this, but it's definitely worth the wait. So, that said, we're always hoping that our consumers will always give us that great feedback, whether they text us or email us or DM us, no matter what. But we take that serious, and if it wasn't for our consumers, we wouldn't be here doing this. So, thanks all of you.